I used to say hi, COVID kids, but I feel like the people who are absent now don't even have COVID. I think they're just absent for other reasons, and that's okay. So, here's what I need you to do. So, first thing I need you to do is tell everyone, tell Liam, put your phone away. Okay, you don't have to do that. Liam, put your phone away. So here's what I want to think about. Before you write anything, I want you to watch this. This is from yesterday and last week and last month. This is how we did the little U graphs, right? We said x plus 2 squared plus 4. We were going to do a U. And we knew that two things happened. This guy moved up and down. He was our y. And this guy moved it side to side. But remember, he was naughty. Anything in parentheses, I keep saying to you, yeah, that stuff's naughty in there. It doesn't come out as positive 2. It came out as negative 2. So if we were going to do this guy, if we were going to graph him, we would go negative 2 to 4, and we would just make a U, and we were happy, and everything was good, right? We're going to do the same thing tonight. And it works the same way, that the stuff on the end is regular, it's not naughty, and the stuff kind of in parentheses is naughty. So here's where we're heading today. So let me get rid of this. This is the first one we're going to do. You're going to write this down. Y equals 2 to the x plus 3. Okay, here we go. So we're stepping up our game a little bit. Isaac is watching me because this is pretty tricky. So here's what's up on this one. The reason we definitely want to use the Mrs. Tarantino way to graph this is using a chart for this would be terrible. Because once I plug in the number 2, I'm at 2 to the 5th, which is like 64 or 32. Like, it's already way off our graph, right? So making a T-chart on this, I have some kids every year like, Miss T, can I just make a T-chart? It's like, you can, but like literally, you're on this one, you're already off the graph by your second number, right? So the better way to do this is to know the pattern, right? So here's what I want you to think about on this problem. What I want you to do is I want you to take a look, and you're just going to watch me do this. That is our basic graph. That's our basic graph. And here's what he looks like. Our basic graph looks like this. It would have a nice little lava line right down here, right? And it would have a point. I'd plug in 0, and I'd get 0, 1. And I'd plug in 1, and I'd get 1, 2. And I'd have a line that goes just like that, right? That's what we did yesterday. Everyone's cool with that. Watch what we're going to do now. I want you to think of the stuff up there as in parentheses. It's going to move us left and right. It's our left and right stuff, but because it's in parentheses, it's naughty. So it's not going to move us 3 jumps toward the pirates. It's going to move this stuff 3 jumps to the door. So watch what we're going to do in essence tonight is, please God, let this work. I'm going to take this stuff and I am going to move it 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps. And then I would move this guy 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, and guess what? I would be done. I would be done. That's what we're doing tonight. We are taking our graphs, and instead of just moving them up and down, we're going to be jumping them around. Does that make sense to everyone? And that's how we'll do it. I don't want to plug in numbers for this because it gets too big. So what I want to do is I want to have 2 helping points right here and right here. I want to have a lava line, and I want to put my graph in. Does that make sense? So before we do this, I'm going to head to the red cabinet. I think what's easiest to do these is with colored pencils, and I'm going to show you why we're going to do that. So let me go back and grab some colored pencils and talk amongst yourselves of the best part-time job out there. We didn't get to talk about that. So decide amongst your table group, what is the best part-time job out there? Would that just be like being rich enough that you can get money? Yeah. The best part-time job is no part-time job? You don't have enough. But make you work too hard. I like working at a restaurant to make tips. Tips are good for your friends. Restaurant work is good work. I worked my way through college in a restaurant. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to. Huh? Yeah, man, you're working slow. Because I feel like if it's slow, they're going to tell you to go home. Restaurant work is best. Chips and best. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready? So, we're ready to start. We're going to start nice and easy. We're going to build our way up. You guys ready to write this down on your paper? Here we go. We're going to start our first one. So we're going to say y equals 2x plus 4. Ooh, we're going to go 2x plus 4. Okay. So here's how I recommend doing it, right? And what I recommend doing is using a colored pencil. Grab a colored pencil out if you want. Because what we want to do, Liam, on this one, still Liam, there we go. What we want to do on this one is we want to just take a look at this guy first, right? We want to take a look at just this regular guy. So here's what we do for the regular guy. And here's what I'm also telling you. I'm going to put a +0 on this, and you're going to see why in a little bit. But that's not going to matter for now. So if this was a regular one, here's what I would do. I would put in my lava line, right? I would plug in the number 1. And if I plugged in the number 1, I would use a colored pencil and do it very lightly. So I'm going to plug in 0. 2 to the 0 is right here, right? To plug in 0. Because 2 to 0 is 1. And then I would use the number 1, and I plug in 1 right here, and 2 to the 1 is 2. Have I lost anyone with my colored pencils? Now what I'm going to do is with my regular pencil, that's my graph. I am going to shift it over 4 jumps, but it's not going to be, it's naughty, it's not going to go this way, it's going to be 4 jumps this way. So now use another color and move it. So here I'm going to switch my colors out to blue, move this dot. Ooh, wouldn't it be cool? Maybe I can actually make this work. Let's see if it'll work. 1, oh my God, 2, 3, 4. And move this dot, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you are ready to draw in your graph. And you are done. You are done. Does that make sense? So here's what the homework's going to ask for, though. It wants to know some highlights, right? So let's put on some highlights, and you guys help me. I can't call them the same points anymore. I have to call them helping points. So we always need 2 helping points. So here's helping point number 1. I want the new one. So what is my first helping point? It's going to be at -4, 1. Is everybody cool with where I got that? Because I just moved it over. So my first helping point is at -4, 1. And how do I get that? I just steal it off my graph. And my second helping point is at -3, 2. I just stole it off my graph. My asymptote, or my lava line, was y equals 0. How did I get that? From that guy right there. And finally, my domain is always going to be, domain is all real numbers, because everything side to side is fair game. But my range, be careful on this one, I can get close to the lava, but I can't touch it. Don't touch the lava. And all the way up to heaven, but you can't actually touch God. He's finicky about that, right? Are we okay with that? How does that work? Is everybody okay? Okay, so I'm going to give you one to try. You guys ready? So you can do this on the second one or the third one, whatever graph you're on. Okay, so here's what I want you to try. Let me get rid of this. Okay, I would like you to try this. I'd like you to say y equals 2x minus 2. And I want you to find a helping point, another helping point, the lava line. Look, I'll make it lava line because we like that. Y equals blank. Your other teachers in pre-calc will call that asymptote. We will call it lava line because that's more fun. I'd like you to figure out the domain and the range. There you go. Start with the one, start with the home base. Start with this guy gone. Just start with the basic one. And then move it 2 jumps toward the pilot wall. That's your move. Okay? Give it a try. I'm going to come around and see if anyone wants help. I like using my colored pencils for the original 2 dots, and then I just move it. Yeah. Okay, so first thing we're gonna just do the basic home graph, right? Which is just this guy, and he's really easy. So I would plug in 0. So 2 to the 0 to the 1. Right? So we got 0, 1, 0, 1. There, beautiful. And now I'm gonna plug in the number 1. Right? The R1. So it's 1, 2 to the 1 is 2. Does that make sense? 1, 2. I plugged in 1. So the first one I got 2 to the end, right? So the first time I plugged in 0, and I got 1, right? And then the next time I plugged in 1. So I got 2 to the 1. Is that cool? So here's my second one. Okay. Those are my original points. But now this guy says, hey, slide them over this way. Yes, you do the opposite of what it does. Beautiful. That's one of your new jump dots. Beautiful. So what's my new graph going to look like? Then come sliding right on in here. No, my asymptote is +0. It's a big +0, so it's going to be like that. Beautiful. Hey, I'm going to give you a little help on this one. If this helps, +0, right? Who added those 2 dots? How does it feel? Does it make sense? Yeah? Yeah? Does it make sense? Yeah? Just sliding it over? Yeah? Are we okay? So here we go. This is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to start. So Manya and I were doing it. And first thing I do is I put in my lava line, right? Just because it makes me happy. So my original one, the home graph, with nothing to add it on, I plug in. It's always like that 0, 1. That's always like, because when I plug in 0, it's always 0, 1. I love that for me. And then I'm going to plug in the number 1, 1, 2. Okay, that's normally what I would do. But now I got to think to myself, wait, I got to move this guy. And I got to move him too, but I move him this way because he's naughty. So my new graph is going to go 1, 2 right there, 1, 2 right here, and I am good to slide him in. I just shifted him over. Are we okay on that? Does that kind of make sense? So here are my new helping points. 2, 1, and 3, 2. And if you're thinking, how do you know those so fast, Miss T? I just get them off the graph. Literally. I don't want to do any real math because I'm that lazy. My lava line, I steal from this guy. My domain is my favorite because everything counts side to side. I can go side to side forever. But my range is important. I can't drop below the green lava, right? I catch on fire. So 0 all the way up to heaven. Yep. Are we okay? Okay. So it's going to get a little weirder. You guys ready? Are we up for this? We're going to now go side to side and up and down. So here we go, lambs. You got this. This is hard stuff, but I'm impressed with you. Okay. Y equals 2 to the x minus 3 plus 4. This will work. Okay. I'm not going to lie. If you saw this on an SAT, ACT, or a placement test, that's a hell of a problem if they said graph that. But you could do it. And here's why. You could do it. One is, you know right away, oh, Miss T says those are J's. So right away, you could get rid of a bunch of the graphs, right? Liam, I need you to hang with me on this one, right? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just look at what we call just the parent graph. Just the two without all the other garbage, right? We're going to look at just him. And we're going to say, okay, let me start with him. And let's see what happens. So this is the basic one. The basic one would be right here, because it's always when I plug in 0, I get 0, 1. And if I plug in 1, I get 2. That's the basic one. Now here's what's cool. I am going to do what it tells me to do. It tells me to go up 4. So I'm going to take this dude and move him up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it says go over 3. 1, 2, 3. That's one of my points. And now I do the same thing with the other point. I go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go over 3. 1, 2, 3. Guess what? I'm almost done. Now I'm ready to put in my lava line. How do I know where my lava line is? It's right here. I can't touch right here. That's lava. And look, I'm ready to draw it in. And it's so easy to draw in. Don't touch the lava. Boom. And we've just graphed that. We've just graphed something crazy hard to graph. And if you had to make a T-chart, it would have been crazy because those numbers would have gotten big really, really, really fast, right? So if I need the helping points, here are my helping points. Helping point number 1, here it is. You know what I do? I literally just look at my graph. I just look at my graph and I'm like, oh, over 3, up 5. Helping point number 2. We always like 2 helping points, right? Helping point number 1. Here's helping point number 2. Oh, it's 4, 6. And nice and easy. What's my asymptote? He is right here. Super easy. I just steal it from this guy. Y equals 4. My domain never changes. It's all real numbers. And finally, my range. That's the thing I got to be careful of. I can't touch the lava line. So all the way down to 4 and all the way up to heaven. All the way up to God. There we go. What do you think? Is that bad? Is that doable? Now you can see where the colored pencils are kind of nice. Start with the original with one color and then count over in another color. You guys ready to try one on your own? Can you do this? Got this? Let's try it. Let's see how we do. I am very impressed with you guys. This is hard stuff. So here we go. I'm going to give you a new one. Y equals 3x plus 2 minus 3. And I want at the end a helping point 1, helping point 2, the asymptote, the domain, and the range. There you go. Give it a try. See how you do. I will come around and help anyone who needs it. So remember, here's where you want to start. Start with just this guy. Start with just him. That's the only plugging in you have to kind of do. 0, 1, and then 1, 3. Right? That's your starting place. And then bounce it one way, bounce it the other. Right? Bounce it up, bounce it down. Bounce it side to side. Give it a try. Who can I help? You know, I'm going to end up moving you and it'll be sad. I know, you'll be sad with sitting in the mud like this. How about yourself? Yes, go 3 down, and then 2 to the left. To the left. So that's my, this is covering my up and down, but covering my up and down. Oh, that's one of your dots. So you boom. Put in your new lava line with the angle 3. And let me double check that. So, oh yeah, there it is. I think you did 2 things at once. Let's just start with, we're going to start with this one, right? So 0, 1 is my first one, right? And then 1, 2. Okay, now move those. Perfect. Perfect. Now that makes a lot of sense, right? Are you good? Okay, I'm just double checking. You guys good? Yeah. Miriam, yes? Yeah. Really, if you can count, you can do this. You don't even have to plug numbers, right? I like it. Are we good? Does this make sense? Yeah? Are we good? Anyone need me? So here we go. You guys ready? This is as hard as it gets, but I gotta be honest, this is hard. So Mo and I were talking, and here's what we did. We said, let's start with the basic graph. And the basic graph, we said 0, 1, because we always start there. That's our basic one. And then we plug in 1, 1, 3. And you know why I do that basic one? Because it's easy, right? And now I'm going to start bouncing it around. So it tells me to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2 toward the door. 1, 2. That's one of my dots. And now I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2, 1, 2. That's my second dot. I throw in my lava line. There's lava right there. And I am good to go. But now you can see why having 2 colors is helpful, because you might get confused, or just erase them when you're done. Is that cool? So here comes helping point number 1, -2, -2. Helping point number 2, -1, 0. Asymptote, -3. Domain, all real numbers. Range, -3 to infinity. Make sure they're soft. Yes.
Does it matter which helping point is which?
Nope, totally doesn't. It just lets me know that you actually have ideas, right? And will this make sure you would make them right on a multiple choice test? Absolutely. That's it for me for today. You guys did really good. Yeah. I'm going to come over and do it with you. Is that cool? I'm going to turn off the thing. Bye, public kids.